Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we're gonna make some requested updates on the orchids that I received from you guys. Many of you wanted to see how they're doing, so let's get to it. Let's start with this one. This is the Phalaenopsis Ariana. What a beautiful species, isn't it? Ever since I got it, she produced this new leaf, and also she is producing quite a lot of new roots, as you can see. Overall, she's doing quite well. I didn't expect it to do not well at all. I see that this orchid had a flower spike in the past, so it is blooming size, kinda. I'm presuming whatever flower spike she will produce, it's not gonna be the full potential, but I really hope that in the spring I'm gonna have some beautiful flowers from her as well. Next, we have the Oncidium Twinkle Pink profusion. I received him in not such a good state, and I'm happy to say that he's on the right track. He produced some pseudobulbs, as you can see, quite tiny compared to the older ones, but this guy has roots. New pseudobulbs are plump, the older ones are plumping up. It used to be a lot more dehydrated than this. We're on the right track with this guy. I'm not expecting blooms anytime soon though. These guys really need to be bigger than this, but I'm pretty sure next year we're gonna have some blooms from him as well. Okay, so if you remember, some of the orchids managed to spend about a month in transport. They were sent from Germany, and most of them were Phalaenopsis species that really didn't like this transport, but they bounced back right away. This is one of them. I need to redo this tag. This is the Phalaenopsis Mani Black. She produced this leaf, or actually continued to grow this leaf. Now it is producing a new one. Roots are growing. She's doing quite well. Not expecting blooms this year because she's a summer bloomer. In the back there we have the Phalaenopsis fasciata. We did a repot on this one because she was tilting too much out of the pot and she was in danger of falling. She's doing quite well and starting to lean towards the light, having a better shape. It bloomed for me, and recently she had another bud, but winter is coming and already the temperatures in the nighttime here are about 19 degrees, sometimes a bit lower. So the blooming season for this one is over. All my summer bloomers are starting to grow vegetatively now. What are you? I think you're the Summitrana. Yeah, this is the Phalaenopsis Summitrana. Beautiful, beautiful orchid. She produced this leaf ever since I got her, and now it is producing another new leaf, which I'm hoping is going to be bigger than the other one. Roots are growing. She's doing quite well. So the Phalaenopsis from that package are really bouncing back. I'm happy. But there's another orchid that didn't bounce back so well. And this is the Masdevallia Pichu. As expected, she suffered greatly on that transport, and I did my best to keep her moist. Many of the older leaves have fallen, are drying out, kind of need to clean it. But there is quite a bit of new growth activity. As you can see there, I see tiny roots appearing as well. The new growth that she started didn't grow so well. As you can see, they're mangled, but this orchid really didn't have any viable roots. Now I think she has a few, which is good. She's trying to hydrate herself, and it's a good thing that season changed here. I think she will do much better in my winter, and next year when she's gonna be stronger during the summer, I'll see what I will do with it. For now, I am happy she's producing this new growth, but you know, Masdevallias are those orchids which I really don't keep my hopes high in doing well in my new climate. I can try out some stuff, but starting with a very stressed orchid to begin with is not the best of things. But anyway, this is a beautiful orchid. I really hope she will do okay. We shall see how these new growths that are sprouting now will grow, hopefully not mangled. In the same package, there was a Cattleya porphyglossa. Well, she didn't suffer all that much. She's a Cattleya. She's growing right now. She produced this new... Shut up, dog. She produced this new growth right here, and now is producing roots. And I'll come back when the dog shuts up. Okay, I think he calmed down. This is part of the reason why filming videos takes longer than necessary. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. So she's growing roots. She grew quite a lot of roots in the pot as well. Looking quite great, no blooms, but maybe the next growth will bloom. I had a Cali Aglaoneta in the same package, and she's growing quite nicely. She bounced back from that transport. Cattleyas usually tolerate well drought and long transports. So it's not surprising that they're actually bouncing back, but you know, they kind of got a little setback. Another one of my viewers sent me a lovely division of their orchid. This is the Brassivola nodosa crossed with Laelia purpurata variety Carnea. Oh my, this is such a gorgeous orchid. So it wasn't necessarily in the best of shape. It did have a tiny little root. This growth right here was quite tiny, but at some point it started to grow, looking okay, starting to unfold the leaf right now. But it is growing a new growth here. Hopefully it's gonna grow better than this one. She does have some roots. Tiny root produced right there. She's on the right track. I'm really happy for this one because you will see, I think in my future with orchid collecting, I'll pretty much have all the Brassivola hybrids I can get my hands on. It's just one of those orchids that creates addiction for me. Alrighty, what else? In the back there, we'll get to that though. Here we have another Cattleya sent by one of you guys. What are you? This is BCG Allen, and she's growing nicely, as you can see, producing a new growth there. It's growing at a weird angle. I cannot really do anything because this is really short. If I would try to straighten it, I will pretty much rip it off. It's okay, what can you do? So she's doing great. This is one of the orchids that I got in my swap from January, if you remember, from Ana Maria. What are you? This is Epicattlea Elatio Pinta. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. So she grew 2 new growths, kind of tiny, but grew quite a lot of roots, as you can see. And another growth is starting, so fingers crossed for better growths. What else? Okay, here we have another orchid that I received from you guys. This is Elsie Elizabeth Fulton Mikel. So this is a beautiful, beautiful one. Growing roots, growing a new growth there, and another one right there. Cats are really taking off in this environment. They absolutely love the warmth and the sun. Another orchid I received from one of you guys is Cali Aglaoneta, Vaughn, another beautiful one. She produced this growth during this past summer and is now growing another pseudobulb right there. Will it bloom? I really hope so, because again, I really like this orchid. This is Endicott Lea. It's supposed to be yellow with a red lip. Can I show you? She has a sheath there, but I don't see any buds just yet. She didn't have any roots, but as you can see, she's growing. Now, this was one of those orchids which created double growth. This one and this one at the same time. One doesn't have a sheath, while the other does. And I'm gonna scoop you guys here. This is the love of my life, the BC Maikai that I got from Ana Maria. Ever since I got it, she grew that pseudobulb, and now this one. Hope for bigger growths. Quite a lot of roots, looking great, doing quite well. This big boy right here is the Engracum Veichi. Don't know how to pronounce this guy. Okay, he's doing okay. Problem is, I tried to place him outside in the most dabblest light that I could. Look at there, and another one there. No, he does not like my climate outside, so he's forced to sit in my greenhouse in a bright location, and luckily I do have quite a lot of bright spots in my greenhouse right now because the sun is lower. But he did grow quite a lot ever since I got him, matured this leaf, and also now he's growing this leaf, and there's another leaf poking there. He is doing quite okay. I just messed up with sunlight with this guy. I saw roots growing inside as well. He is adapting or actually enjoys the Ceramis. I have no trouble with this guy. Hopefully I'll rebloom him, but I really feel sad that I managed to mess up his leaves. I was really not expecting this. I knew the sun is really hot right here, but not as hot as to make this in a matter of minutes. It wasn't more. Another Kalia I received from you guys is this one. This is the Kalia Green Emerald Queen. She is doing quite well. She grew, she grew this pseudobulb. Now is growing this one. A little bit bigger than this one. I tested it for fusarium because you can see the older growths are not doing spectacular, but she's clean. So it's just a matter of very old growths. I think they just depleted because, again, this orchid didn't have a big root system, but overall she's doing quite well. And in the back here we have a Tolumnia, no idea, or maybe it's a orange Iraq, I don't know. We'll see when it blooms. I'm not sure what it is just yet, but it's a Tolumnia. She is growing quite a lot of new growths here in the back as well. And somebody asked me, how are my Tolumnias doing in an organic medium? Well, they're one of those orchids that do spectacular. Have no issues with them, and I'm actually preferring this to any other type of thing like moss and bark. There's no setback, roots grow really nicely. So yeah, Tolumnias for me at least do wonderful in an organic and in Ceramis. I think it does provide that optimal ratio between air and moisture, enough to keep them happy, enough to not keep them soggy, but wet and aerated at the same time. Okay, this is the Fred Clark Chiara After Dark. And while this was a small orchid, I was not expecting it to grow much, and it didn't. I'll try to do a better job with more fertilizer next year, but he is looking quite great. Who knows, maybe I'll get a few blooms. I'm trying not to keep my hopes high, but he's doing great. Catasetums again are one of those orchids that do great in Ceramis. I keep them rather moist, these guys, more than anything else, because if I don't, they shrivel like heck. But overall, they're doing quite nice. And that is about it for today. I have a few more, but I did some updates on them. I have the paths, they're doing okay, but we featured them in a video about a month ago, I think. We also have the vanilla, but I made quite a few updates on it. But mainly I wanted to focus on the orchids that I received from you guys after I moved here. They're really such a joy to grow. I'm loving them. I'm really happy they're bouncing back faster in general than my older orchids, so we'll see which one of them blooms first. Thank you so much for sending them to me. Hope you enjoyed this update. Hope you like what you see. If you want to see more orchid videos from me and stay up to date, simply subscribe to my channel. As you know, I post on a daily basis, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! So one of the problems that I have with my Hoyas going on this stand is the flowers. They drop on my orchid pot. So let's try to do this and see what happens. Ta-da! Except one. Yay!